And so some of these are the most common things, like, starting just with replacing Calendly. Is anybody paying for Calendly in here? So that's one thing right here. Like this one completely eradicates the need for paying for Calendly.
Yeah, absolutely. And so as you mentioned, like scheduling the appointment, right? That's usually one of the first interactions that we're having with clients. They call our office and they want an appointment. We go straight to this calendar right here, and every one of our admin teams schedule the calendar appointment straight through this link right here, right? That enters into a round robin, goes to all the agents, so there's equal distribution between everybody, so none of the agents are mad or they're coming to our admin, hey, she gave them this, she gave them that. It's out of her control. She puts it into the system. But that, again, that's our first interaction with the client. And so we start to condition our clients right off the bat with automation. We want them to know that they're going to get automated things from us, right? So as soon as they schedule this appointment, if you've ever seen Go High Level or GoGuru, again.
Who's seen a workflow like this before? Okay.
Okay, so
who has not seen a workflow like this? Okay, so all these is if you look at flow charts, if you haven't seen a flow chart before, it's such a great tool because early on in automation, it was a lot more manual. And what this creates is a way to visualize the process you're creating. And so, that's what Stephen's going over is like some of these processes we created through these flow charts, and they're phenomenal, visualizations. It's each little bubble there and each little line is just an activity of when X happens, do this or this. When this happens, do this. And it's all this, a bunch of if-then statements and triggers that we set up. And it's, once you learn the process, in GoGuru, we have people that have never done any of this stuff. It gets pretty simple once somebody, once it clicks for people.
Yeah, it's a small learning curve. Taking that learning curve and taking the time to learn that, though, like I said, you're going to save yourself so many headaches down the road. So as he was talking about, this is a workflow, an example. And so as soon as an appointment is booked, whether that be online or the walk-in form is submitted, because we drive a lot of walk-in traffic, and I want that round robin to go into the same round robin that every other appointment goes into, right? So whether you walk in or you book an appointment online, you get entered into this workflow. And this next one here just shows you that client is getting appointment confirmations right when they get it. 24 hours before the appointment, they're getting another confirmation reminder that we're going to do this tomorrow. We're sending them an email, and then 1 hour before the appointment, we're going to wait to send them another text and email. Again, we're conditioning them with this automation, so right off the bat, our very first interaction was all done over automation. They come in for a face-to-face appointment. They know we're human. They know we're there to provide them a service. We're one of the biggest names in the city. They know we mean business, right? It's all automated. Everybody is getting more adapt to automation. You go book a hair appointment, you probably get a reminder. You go to the dentist, you probably get a reminder. They're all using systems like this. It's all the same idea. We're just niching it down for a Medicare agent and what you need as a Medicare agent.
And then coming back to some of the key performance indicators tied to this is like on that initial when we're talking about when whether someone walks in or calls in, and we actually have a separate one for if they specifically ask for an agent, because that's a different thing, and we don't want to take that away from an agent that's got like a specific referral or they've already been talking to them. But either one of them, they go onto an actual they go onto a Google Sheet that actually tracks them. We don't use the Google Sheet necessarily for anything other than when we're having meetings and we're looking at talk time and we're looking at applications submitted for agents, and we're trying to figure out, who's performing at what level and why. We actually, at one point, we're having trouble with somebody having low talk time, and then say, well, I had a lot of walk-ins, and there was a point where you're like, how many physical appointments did they have? And we needed to be able to track that to show how many they had. And so it turned out, just so you guys know, most of the people that were saying that they had a lot of face-to-face appointments and that's why their talk time was low, actually didn't have any more face-to-face appointments than others, but it was a cop-out that we were unable to debunk.
We couldn't hold them accountable without having the numbers, right?
Yeah.
Like we had to have the numbers so we could start holding them accountable. And that was just one of the KPIs that we worked into our overall reviews. It's very important to understand how long they're spending on the phone, how many inbound, outbound calls they had, how many apps they produced, and how many walk-ins did they sit down and see. So you can eliminate all of their rebuttals, right?